What's up, motherfucker?
Hold up, I hope y'all watching this shit.
2, 3.
first round real quick.
Only the people that are in those training rooms with him know how good he is.
Because he just knocks dudes out real quick in the first round.
Yeah, but now we're gonna get a good. I might fuck with this guy. He just, to me, I thought he was a con artist, just based off his look.
They're edge. Holy shit! What the hell just happened?
What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome to Easy Money and Sports Betting Show. Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. Got a big slate of NBA games that we'll break down. Big slate of college basketball as well. College basketball conference tournaments have started. We'll jump into all that. Don't forget, we're live Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern, with Easy Money and Sports Betting Show live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Appreciate everybody joining us. You got some picks of the day on games or whatever, hit those up in the comments section. So we'll go ahead and we'll jump right into today's games. We'll start in the NBA. All right, we'll start in the NBA today. We got a big slate of NBA games, and we'll talk about college basketball. Like I said, college basketball conference tournament starting, so you have a lot of games there today. Actually, some college games have already started. First game we have in the NBA today we'll talk about is the Boston Celtics against the Charlotte Hornets. This game starts at 7:10 p.m. Eastern tonight. The Celtics are 7.5-point favorites at home. They're minus 295 on the money line. The Hornets are plus 240 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 225.5. The Celtics are 39-27 on the season. They are 16-16 on the road. Celtics average 109 points per game on offense. They allow 107 points per game on defense. The Celtics are 4-1 straight up their last 5. And they are 2-2-1 ATS their last 5. The Charlotte Hornets are 32-34 on the season. They are 16-16 at home. So they're 500 at home. They average scoring 115 points per game, but on defense, they allow giving up 116 points per game. They are strong offensively, but they struggle on the defensive side of the defensive end. The Hornets are 3-2 straight up their last 5. They're also 3-2 ATS their last 5. The Celtics have been hot. I like the Celtics here at the minus 7.5. I would lean toward the over the 225.5 because both these teams can score points. So I'd lean toward the over 225.5 in that game. All right, next game we have is the Chicago Bulls at the Detroit Pistons. The Bulls are 5.5-point favorites on the road. They're minus 235 on the money line. The Pistons are plus 194 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 228. The Bulls are 36-26 on the season. They're on a 5-game losing streak. They are 0-5 ATS their last 5 games. The Bulls have won 5 of their last 10 games. So they've been 500 over their last 10 games. They are 15-16 on the road. So they have not been great on the road. The Pistons are 18-48 on the season. They have won 6 of their last 10 games. They are 5-0 ATS their last 5 games following a straight-up win. And the Pistons have won 3 straight games. And they are 11-21 at home this season, so they have not been great at home. I know the Bulls have some injuries and stuff, but I like the Bulls in this game at the minus 5.5. I just don't see the Pistons having enough offense to stay up with the Chicago Bulls team. This Bulls team beats. The thing about this Bulls team is they beat the teams that they're supposed to beat, but they struggle against the top teams in the East and the top teams in the West. But the lower tier teams, the Bulls beat. So I'm going with the Bulls here at the minus 5.5. And I would lean toward the under the 228 in this game. All right, next game we have is the Atlanta Hawks at the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks are 4.5-point favorites at home. They are minus 198 on the money line. The Hawks are plus 166 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 240. The Hawks are good offensively. They're like the Hornets, so they're terrible on defense. The Hawks are 31-33 on the season. They're coming off a loss to the Pistons. Hawks are 1-7 ATS their last 8 road games. So they have not covered at all here recently on the road. They average 112 points per game. They do have 8 players that average double digits, so they have decent depth. They just struggle on the defensive end of the court. And if Trae Young's not going off, the Hawks aren't going to win. The Bucks are 40-25 on the season. This is a second game of a back-to-back for the Bucks. The Bucks are 3-6 ATS their last 9 games. They have won 4 in a row, and they average 114 points per game. I like the Bucks here at the minus 4.5. And I would lean toward the under the 240. All right, next game we have is the Phoenix Suns at the Miami Heat. This should be a good game. You got one of the best teams in the West against one of the best teams in the East. The only problem is this probably won't be that great of a game because the Suns are struggling with injuries. Booker's out due to health and safety protocol. Chris Paul's been out. And then now Cam Johnson is out as well. So the Suns have a little bit of a depleted roster going into this game against the Heat. The Heat are 4-point favorites at home. They are minus 176 on the money line. The Phoenix Suns are plus 148 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 219.5. The Suns are coming off a loss to the Bucks. They struggled defensively in that game. They are 8-3 ATS their last 11 road games, but you still have, like I said, Booker's still out, Johnson's still out, Paul's still out. So they have an undermanned roster right now. The Heat have been hot. They're won 4 of their last 5. They're 5-0 ATS their last 5. Heat's a good team. I like the Suns. I think Suns are one of the best teams in the league. I think they have a good chance of, if they're healthy, making a deep run again. But in this game, with the Suns' injuries, I like the Heat at the I'm going to take Heat at the minus 4. I have the over-under at 219.5. I'd actually lean toward the under in this game. Like I said, because of the players that are missing. All right, next game we have the OKC Thunder at the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are 14.5-point favorites at home. They are minus 1,400 on the money line. The Thunder are plus 830 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 231.5. The Thunder are 20-44 on the season. This is the second game of a back-to-back for the Thunder, and the Thunder score 102 points per game. The Thunder just not a very good team. They struggle offensively. The T-Wolves are 37-29 on the season. They are on a 4-game winning streak. They average 114 points per game, but D'Angelo Russell is questionable for tonight's game. But even without Russell, with Big Cat and everybody, I think Timberwolves win this game. 14.5 points is too many points for me to give up. But I would lean toward the under the 231.5 in this game. All right, next game we have the Los Angeles Lakers at the Houston Rockets. The Lakers are the Lakers are 6.5 or 5.5-point favorites at home. They're minus 220 on the money line. The Rockets are plus 184 on the money line. Over-under for this game is set at 234. The Lakers are 28-36 on the season. They're coming off a loss to the Spurs. They average 110 points per game. And for tonight's game, they only have 3 active players that average double digits, as both LeBron James and Anthony Davis are expected to miss tonight's game. The Lakers are 1-5 ATS their last 6. The Rockets are coming off a loss to Miami. They're 16-49 on the season. They average 108 points per game. They are 5-13 ATS their last 18. I don't know how the Lakers are favored by 5.5 when you're missing your 2 best players. I actually like Houston here. Houston might not win the game. I think this is going to be a close game. I'm going Houston at the plus 5.5. I would lean toward Houston at the plus 5.5 in that game. All right, let's move on to the next game. Next game we have in the NBA tonight is the Orlando Magic at the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans are 8.5-point favorites at home. They are minus 370 on the money line. The Magic are plus 295 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 222.5. The Magic are 16-49 on the season. This is the second game of a back-to-back for the Magic. They average 104 points per game, and they are 3-5 ATS their last 8 games. The Pelicans are 27-37 on the season. This is the second game of a back-to-back. They average 108 points per game, and they are 4-1 in their last 5. Pelicans, since the trade deadline after adding C.J. McCollum, the Pelicans have been playing good ball. They got off to a slow start to the season due to some injuries. Got some of their guys back. Zion still hasn't came back. But I like the Pelicans here at the minus 8.5. I lean toward the Pelicans at the minus 8.5. The Pelicans are playing good ball. The Magic are just not a very good team. Next game we have the Toronto Raptors at the San Antonio Spurs. The Raptors are 2.5-point favorites on the road. They are minus 132 on the money line. The Spurs are plus 112 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 228.5. The Raptors are 34-30 on the season. They are on a 3-game losing streak. They're 4-1 ATS their last 5 games on 2 days rest. They're good defensively. The Spurs are 25-40. They are 1-5 ATS their last 6 games versus teams with a winning record. They're below 500 at home, and they just go through too many spells and games where they struggle to score. I like the Raptors here at the minus 132 on the money line. All right, next game we have the New York Knicks at the Dallas Mavericks. The Mavericks are 9-point favorites at home. They are minus 405 on the money line. The Knicks are plus 320 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 216. The Knicks are 27-38 on the season. They've won 2 in a row. They average 105 points per game. They are 4-10 ATS their last 14 games. They they're coming off a win over the Kings on Monday. Randall had a career high 46 points. Randall has not had a great season, but maybe he's going to get hot at the right time. But he had a great game in their last game. The Mavs are 40-25 on the season. The Mavericks have won 5 in a row. They average 107 points per game. They are 7-1 ATS their last 8 games. I like the Mavericks here in this game. 9 points is a little too many points for me to give up, but I would lean toward the over the 216. Next game, we have the Denver Nuggets at the Sacramento Kings. This game starts at 10:10 p.m. Eastern Time. The Jazz are 18-point favorites at home. They're minus 2,500 on the money line. The Trailblazers are plus 1,200 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 221.5. This is two teams going in the opposite direction. Portland is 25-39 on the season. Lillard is out for the season. They traded away C.J. McCollum. They're on a 5-game losing streak. They struggle offensively. They were 1-4 ATS their last 5 meetings versus Utah, and 2-6 ATS their last 8 road games. So they have not been covering on the road, and they have struggled covering against Utah their last 5 games. Utah is 40-24 on the season. They have won 22 of 32 home games. They are 5-1 ATS their last 5 games. Utah's just the more complete team here. I like Utah, but 18 points is just too many points to give up in an NBA game. I would lean toward the under the 221.5 in that game. Next game we have the Denver Nuggets at the Sacramento Kings. I skipped ahead. Sorry. The Nuggets are 6.5 point favorites on the road. They're minus 260 on the money line. Kings are plus 215 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 238.5. The Nuggets are 39-26 on the season. They have won 9 of their last 10. Jokic is playing at an MVP level again. He's actually putting up better numbers this year than he did last year. They are 6-2 ATS their last 6, or 6-0 ATS their last 6. They won their last game against the Warriors. The Kings are 24-43 on the season. They've lost 7 of their last 10. They are 4-10 ATS their last 14 home games versus winning teams. So they have struggled to cover at home against teams with a winning record. I like the Nuggets in this game at the minus 6.5. Next game we have is the Washington Wizards at the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers are 4-point favorites at home. They're minus 178 on the money line. The Wizards are plus 150 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 217. The Wizards are 29-34 on the season. Porzingis did finally make his debut with the Wizards. He had 25 points. The Wizards are 7-15-1 ATS their last 23 road games. So they have struggled to cover on the road. The Clippers are 34-33 on the season. They've lost 2 in a row. They are 4-1 ATS. Their last 5 on no rest. They're coming off a loss to the Warriors, and this is a second game of a back-to-back for the Clippers. I'll lean toward the Clippers here at the minus 4. All right, that is all the NBA games for today. Like I said, big slate of NBA games. We'll get to my picks of the day here in just a few minutes. But first, let's take a look at some college basketball. A lot of college basketball games going on today. A lot of the conference tournaments are starting. Big Ten, I know the Big Ten tournament is starting today. Big East starts today. So we have a lot of college basketball games. We'll talk about some of them. We'll talk about a few of them. Syracuse and Florida State's playing right now. Syracuse is up 70-34 with 11 minutes left in the second half. St. Joseph's and LaSalle are also playing right now. LaSalle is up 27-20 with 8 minutes left in the first half in that game. Then you have Idaho State at Portland State. Starts at 2 p.m. Eastern. Portland State is a 4.5 point favorite. They're minus 196 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 135.5. Like I said, got a bunch of college games. There's a couple that I do want to talk about. You have Butler at Xavier. Xavier's just 6.5 point favorite at home. Over unders at 131.5. I'd love to see Butler win this game. I think Xavier wins the game, but I think Butler is going to be a real close game. I'll lean toward Butler at the plus 6.5. Air Force and Utah State. Utah State's a big favorite in that game. In Big Ten tournament action, you have Nebraska at Northwestern. Northwestern's a 4.5 point favorite, and they over under for that game is at 144.5. I lean toward Northwestern in that game. All right, get to the games that I like. I'm going to give you some picks. My picks on. Another good game today, West Virginia at Kansas State. Kansas State's a 1.5 point favorite, minus 120 on the money line. West Virginia is plus $1 on the money line. Over under for this game 137.5. I like West Virginia in this game against Kansas State. Huggins gets his teams playing well around tournament time. I like West Virginia here at even money on the money line. All right, let's get to the next game I like in college basketball. Is Minnesota at Penn or Minnesota and Penn State in Big Ten tournament action. Penn State's a 3.5 point favorite, minus 170 on the money line. Minnesota is plus 140 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 125.5. Minnesota is 13-16 on the season. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. They are 2-5 ATS their last 7, and they are 1-6 straight up their last 7. Penn State is 12-16 on the season. They have also lost 4 of their last 5, but they are 8-3 ATS their last 11. I like Penn State in this game at the minus 170 on the money line. All right, another game. A couple more games I like here. Well, it's tomorrow, so I must have skipped over it. Hold on, I went too far, I guess. I didn't see it. Another game I like is DePaul at St. John against St. John's. Another big tournament game. Right here it is. DePaul at St. John's. St. John's is a 4.5 point favorite at home. They're minus 194 on the money line. DePaul is plus 160 on the money line. Over under for this game is set at 155. In this game, I like the over the 155. Both these teams can score points. Last time they played, it was a real high scoring game. Both these teams, this game will probably be both teams in the 80s. So I like the over the 155 in this game. And then I have one more game that I like. Let me find it here on the so I make sure my numbers are right. Is Marquette at Creighton? Marquette's 19-11. They are 500 in conference play this season. They are 11-5 straight up their last 16 games. Creighton is 20-10 on the season. They are 12-7 in conference play, 7-2 straight up their last 9. But they do have their guard, Ryan Nembhard, is going to be out for the rest of the season. So that affects them. Both these games they played in conference play earlier in the season were close games. I like the healthy Marquette team here at the minus 2.5. All right, that is the college games I like today. Like I said, there's a lot of college games on. We are going to be doing some live watch-alongs and stuff for March Madness, so be on the lookout for that. All right, we'll get to my picks of the day here. In the NBA today, I like the Chicago Bulls minus 5.5 against the Detroit Pistons. I like the Milwaukee Bucks minus 4.5 against the Atlanta Hawks. I like the Miami Heat minus 4 against the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix Suns are not going to have Booker or Cameron Johnson. All right. Also like the Toronto Raptors money line. The Denver Nuggets minus 6.5. And the Celtics minus 7.5 against the let's make sure that's still 7.5. Yeah, Celtics minus 7.5 against the Hornets. That's my NBA picks for today. Recap my NBA picks. Celtics minus 7.5. The Bulls minus 5.5. The Milwaukee Bucks minus 4.5. Miami Heat minus 4. The Raptors money line and the Denver Nuggets minus 6.5. Then in college basketball today, I like Penn State money line over Minnesota. I like DePaul and St. John's over 155. And I like Marquette minus 2.5 over Creighton. And I like West Virginia money line. So in college basketball, Penn State money line, DePaul St. John's over 155, Marquette minus 2.5, and West Virginia money line. That's my picks of the day. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. We do have some big announcements coming here real soon, so make sure you stay on the lookout on our social media pages for that. All right, before we get out of here, don't forget we're live Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern with Easy Money, a sports betting show. Come join us. We're giving out winners. Hey, and if you like to talk sports, or if you're big into sports betting, like to talk sports betting, I'm looking for another guy to sit in with me some. So if you're interested in that, contact me on social media. But make sure you follow us, Gonzo Sports Room, on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. Like I said, you can find Easy Money, a sports betting show, live Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We're also live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern with GSR Gonzo Sports Room, our sports talk show. Come join us for that. We'll be live tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Got a lot to talk about with all the NFL stuff that's going on around the franchise tag and Russell Wilson getting traded. Aaron Rodgers stays in Green Bay. We'll talk about all that tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern on GSR Gonzo Sports Room. You can find GSR Gonzo Sports Room and Easy Money, a sports betting show, in podcast form on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find us. We also have a new pro wrestling podcast out, GWR Gonzo's Wrestling Room. We just released an episode on Sunday where we talked about the top 10 tag teams of all time. Go check that out at Gonzo's Wrestling Room on Apple Podcasts, Anchor Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Most places you listen to podcasts, you can find it. Also, if you would like to watch the video version of GWR Gonzo's Wrestling Room, you can find that on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Go check out our YouTube page. Please hit that subscribe button. We greatly appreciate it. If you're watching on Facebook or Twitch, please hit the follow and the like buttons. We greatly appreciate that as well. Go check out our merch store, streamlabs.com/Gonzalez Sports/merch. We have t-shirts, hats, hoodies, long sleeve tees, a lot of different things available. You can see some of our t-shirts here behind me. So we'll get you some GWR, GSR, and Easy Money gear today. We would greatly appreciate that. Don't forget, we do have another big live stream wrestling show coming up March 19th at New Era Wrestling in Shelbyville, Indiana. They put on a great show last time we was there. The card they have put together for this show looks like it's going to be another great show. For more information on that, go check out New Era Wrestling on Facebook, or check out our page. I'll be posting the flyers and stuff for that event on the Gonzo Sports Room social media as well. So be on the lookout for that. We have some, like I said, and also big announcement coming this Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you tune in this Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. You don't want to miss what we have going on with the what we got going on this Saturday at 5 p.m. It's going to be a big show, so make sure so come join us this Saturday at 5 p.m. for a big show. I want to thank everybody for joining us. I'll get my daily picks posted on our social media here before too long. But like I said, you can listen back for the daily picks. Thanks for joining us. Hope everybody has a great day. We will see you guys tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, with Easy Money, a sports betting show. Be safe. Peace.